Alright, welcome back to our fifth and final match of the night. I am your host Niz, and you're watching NizCast. We've got the Dota 2 Canada Cup Season 7 Group D Decider match. Our very, very last game of the group stages. We already saw Digital Chaos go through and finish first in the group. We know that enemy GG finished last in the group. Now it's between these two teams to determine who finishes second and who finishes third. As whoever wins this one will start in the winner's bracket. The loser will start in the loser's bracket in the playoffs. And I believe they'll be playing up against Freedom in the first round in the winner's bracket. So it'll be an interesting matchup there for sure. But we've got a whole lot of stuff to catch up in this draft, so I'm going to speed through it. Bounty, Doom, Invoker, Morphling, and Spectre banned out by Drinking Boys. The bans from EverNovaS is going to be Alchemist, Wisp, Juggernaut, Death Prophet, and Lifestealer. The picks now, I'll start with EverNovaS. Slardar, Witch Doctor, Earth Spirit, Dragon Knight, Lone Druid. Drinking Boys, they picked up Beastmaster, Enchantress, Puck, Lion, and we're waiting on the fifth. Because I got through the draft a little bit faster than they did. As for our lanes, what do we got? Slardar in the off lane, Dragon Knight mid, Lone Druid safe lane, with Earth Spirit and Witch Doctor, the two supports, with Earth Spirit probably hopping around mid a little bit in this game, but we'll see who Drinking Boys choose to pick up as their fifth and final member. Their mid's going to be Puck, Beastmaster in the off lane, Enchantress at position 4. Maybe we'll even see the same thing that we saw last game, with it kind of almost dual off lane, like half off laning with the Beastmaster, and the Lion babysitting whatever Drinking Boys are going to pick up. A pretty, I guess, a somewhat similar look to what they ran last game, but without the Invoker. And I don't think they're in a position where you really want to run a Jug. Who did they run? What was last game?
10 seconds remaining.
What do you pick here? You got 7 seconds.
5 seconds remaining.
Drow Ranger.
Who's your safe laner? Drow Ranger. Gonna go with the Drow. Well, if Toby was casting us, he'd be going absolutely nuts right now because we got Drow. I'm still trying to think how this is going to work for them. Obviously, if the Enchantress gets big, that's really scary. That's a lot of extra damage that the Drow is going to add on there. And you know what? They do have 4 ranged heroes, including the Drow. So, I mean, certainly the Drow is going to help in that sense. But you've got a Slardar on the side of EverNovaS. He's just going to jump on top of that Drow. You got a Dragon Knight who can run in there. He's not really too much affected by it. You got the Lone Druid. His bear is going to be in there as well. Even Earth Spirit can roll on in if need be. I don't know. I'm not sure how the Drow is going to work, but hopefully I'm wrong, and hopefully they show us the way. Because it's always interesting to watch and see new, not new, but relatively new strategies and different strategies work out for teams. But without further ado, let's introduce our teams and our players. On our Radiant side, we've got EverNovaS. Way2 is going to be playing their Earth Spirit. Boris is going to be playing the Slardar. Demon on the Witch Doctor. Yawar playing the Dragon Knight. And Kushu playing the Lone Druid. I believe that's Justin as well. I don't know why I keep saying I believe. It's Justin. As for our Dire side, DKB. Drinking Boys. We've got Shanks playing the Enchantress. Mantu is on the Lion. Sakula on the Drow Ranger. Getovas playing the Puck. And Mad is going to be on the Beastmaster.
30 seconds to battle.
Now, don't think you guys can hear it on the mic, but if you can, there's a lot of thunder going on in the background right now. So if you are catching that, I don't think you would be, but yeah, just a heads up. There's a storm a brewing outside, so hopefully my internet and stuff doesn't all of a sudden cut out. But if it does, blame Mother Nature. We're gonna try to ride it out and cast the rest of this game for us tonight. But we've got both bounty runes picked up by either mid, so nothing too out of the ordinary there. I didn't actually note if there was anything too unusual off the start. Doesn't look like it. We got boots first on the lion, and we got smoke on both the Earth Spirit and the lion as well. So things to at least watch for. Our lanes, it's going to be Dragon Knight going up against Puck in the mid lane. Top, it's going to be an off lane Slaughter with an Earth Spirit up there right now. We've got Dro Ranger as the safe laner, and Lion is going to be the one babysitting there as Radiant loses their courier. Where did that happen? I mean, it must have been in the mid lane, but there was no one there. Where did that happen? I don't know. Bottom lane is going to be an off-lane Beastmaster, and it's going to be up against a safe lane Lone Druid supported by a Witch Doctor. And the Enchantress is going to be in the jungle and immediately going to smoke up with the Lion here. But they're going to come in as kind of a counter engage here as Way2's already jumped onto Sakula. Boris comes in and gets a stomp off. Is briefly stunning up that Dro, but now it's the Earth Spirit who's the one in trouble. He's going to juke through the trees as best as he can. There's a Centaur Conqueror in there to cut him off. But he comes up, his rolling boulder comes up just in time. So he can escape there. Shanks will now take a few hits. And he'll even get crushed here. But we're not going to see our first blood just yet. Hopping back in our mid lane, seeing how things are going. Yawar sitting at 8-1 CS. Gedova sitting at 9-2, so still pretty even down there. Mad's going to hit level 2 with this creep wave under his tower. And looks like the Lone Druid's free farming. He's sitting at 10-2, but this Dro's off to a little bit of a slow start. And it is a pain to last hit with Dro in the first couple levels. A real pain. Of course, Sakula's doing fine here, but he's sitting at 7-2 CS, so he has fallen behind just a couple, or just a few behind the Lone Druid. Race for the top route. Gedovas is going to win that as he bottles up the regen.
Just what that doctor.
So Radiant Courier respawns, and we'll start bringing out that bottle towards mid lane. There's Way2 rolling bouldered on in, and now he's going to get hexed up as he was getting attacked by those frost arrows from the Dro. But not going to be able to finish that kill off.
Are you even trying?
So far, the build 1 point into auras, or 1 point into the arrows, 2 points into the precision aura. Demon trying his best to harass back Mad here, who's now level 3, almost level 4. Mad doing a good job of, getting XP down here. He's only gotten 5 CS so far, but that's not his main concern. His main concern is going to be the XP. As we've actually had both heroes in the top lane die at different points in the last 30 seconds or so, both of them denying themselves to neutrals, just to take the faster trip back to the fountain. The Earth Spirit did it and then handed it TP down towards the bottom. And now Boris just did it, and now he TP'd back towards the top lane. Way2 and Demon gonna wrap in behind Mad. Gonna stun him up with the cask, rolling boulder as well. Not only gonna bring him down to about half. Checking back in on mid, Yawar at 18-1 CS. Gedovas with a little bit of a lead, 25-5. And once again, he'll secure 4-minute rune. As he's going to orb on in. We've got haste as a bottom rune, which DKB knows. They just scared at it with the Hawk. Meanwhile, in the top lane, there's a dive past the tower. As Boris has to run all the way back to his tier 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Denied.
You shall not.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
So it looks like DKB is going to go for an early tier 1 tower push here, and there's really not much that they can do to defend this. Slardar kind of sucks at this. He can't pull the creep wave back off his tower. You got a Witch Doctor who can, and I believe Earth Spirit can as well. But just if you leave the Slardar up there, it's so easy for DKB just to push that tower, and not really too much that Slardar can do. Meanwhile, you've got strong pushing power on the other side. On the Dragon Knight in the mid lane, this way too rolls on forward. Gonna drop down a rock, but gets hit with the silence and pushed back by the Drow Ranger. So far, pretty uneventful so far. Still waiting for our first blood. There's already some items getting added on, as we're going to have a Hand of Midas picked up by the Lone Druid. Just trudge for Drow right now. As Boris is going to engage with a Slithering Crush on the Sakula, who will throw out the silence.
Dire's
But now they're just going to turn around and get the kill on the way to. That's going to be our first blood. Shank's going to get the last hit on the Enchantress, as the Enchantress gets way too happy there with getting first blood. But now they're going to go for a tier 1 push on the back of this. And like I said, Boris really not going to be able to do anything there. As Get Over is orbed on over and found Demon off to the side. So it's another kill going the way of DKB. The tier 1 tower falls. And in the mid lane, Yawar doing his best to push, but with his Dragon form on cooldown for another 30 seconds, it's difficult for him to really do so.
Radiant's top tower
Either way,
is under
Mantu
attack.
will head back down the mid lane and do his best to defend there, as we still have 2 heroes left in the top lane from DKB, pushing and pressuring the tier 2. Shanks ran and got a TP and went all the way back to base. He'll complete his urn. And we've got Tranquils just purchased now by Mantu. It's a 3-man smoke from EverNovaS as they're going hunting. They're looking to change how the start of this game has gone. As obviously they're still trying to find their first kill of the game, and they're going to move towards mid. Not sure if Puck's going to be the easiest target for them. Maybe they want to go for the Lion instead. Either way, nope, they're going to lead with the stun. Onto the Puck. Cask is there, silence is there, everything is there. That's a dead Puck, so it may not have been the easiest kill, but as long as they chain everything together like that, they're going to find those kills. As Mantu is now their next target. They're going to charge forward. Hex, Primal Roar is going to come out, stunning up Boris, but Mantu's going to be the first one to fall, and will Boris even fall? He drops down to 54 HP, he will. As Drow Ranger getting the kill there is now EverNovaS trying to run away and get out of there. It looks like they will be able to do so. So after getting the Puck kill, they keep going for more. They find that extra kill that they were looking for on the line, but it does cost them their Slardar, so maybe a little bit too far on that occasion. With Elder Dragon form still activated, they go for a push on the bottom tier 1 and they get the tier 1. Meanwhile, we've got a trade here as DKB trying to put some pressure on this tier 1, but Yawar TP's back, and they're not going to be able to finish this push. Especially not with more heroes coming in, because Way 2 just arrives on the scene. Boris farming in the top lane so he can collect more mangoes. He's currently at 2. As that tier 1 tower goes down. Got our Lone Druid up at 1,000 gold. Deep Observer Ward getting placed by Mantu, scouting out anything happening in behind. The Shank starts rotating in from the side, and they're going to start working on this tier 2. As early pushes coming out from DKB here, and I think this is the right call. You know, you've got Drow Ranger. This is what Drill is actually really good at. Pretty weak late game carry, but we've got to engage here. Dream Coil is going to get used on the Boris. As Yawar comes in from the side, nice breathe fire on a bunch of heroes. But Sakula's on the run, and he's going to get swiped down by the bear from the Lone Druid. As Way 2 keeps charging on forward, rolls on in, but he immediately gets stunned up by Mantu. So he'll pull back a rock, silencing up Mantu and Shanks. But will they be able to catch one of these targets? Doesn't look like it. The DKB, they lose their Drow Ranger.
Is under attack.
But I think they've got the right game plan, trying to go for those pushes. I've spoken about it before in casts about how there's. I call him a semi-carry, and it's kind of the wrong term, I guess. But I don't really know if there is an accurate term. But one of these carries that really just kind of thrives in the mid game and just doesn't really excel as you go super, super late. And I think Drow fits into that category perfectly. I use other examples like Shadow Fiend, I think is one. And you know, you could maybe think of Gyrocopter somewhat like that, but Gyro does scale quite well into the late game, so it's not really exactly the same. But either way, it's this hero that really has to hit his stride in the mid game, and I think Drow is a perfect example of that. And Drow, early and mid game is where she dominates, and her aura and just her ability to push provides so much to the team that you've really got to take advantage of that, and that's when you've got to get your advantage. So that you're so far ahead by the time you get to the late game, if the game gets that far, but that when you get to the late game, the Drow Ranger is still relevant because your team is just so far ahead. Your 2 goes down.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So 3 towers already claimed by DKB, as now they're going to TP up and try to defend their top one.
Has been denied.
But Shanks will deny it, so they do, I guess, somewhat successfully defend it. Now, I have no idea if you guys can hear that, but the rain is coming down ridiculously hard. So, I hope my internet's going to stay. It normally doesn't cut out when we have storms or anything like that, but hopefully it's gonna stay up here. But we got Boris, Demon, and Way 2. They're smoked up. They're going to look for a kill. Boris is leading the charge, currently at 900 gold. So he doesn't have his Blink Dagger yet.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mad is close. He could be the target, but there's a couple other heroes here from DKB. Sakula and Shanks are here as well. At best, it's going to be a 3 versus 3 as Demon's smoke gets popped. He's going to drop an Observer Ward, and they're going to see everyone here. They're going to engage on the Sakula as they're going to throw in the cast, drop the Death Ward. Rock gets kicked at him. Rock comes rolling on in, and they get the kill on that Drow Ranger, who immediately buys back into the game. Meanwhile, the Lone Druid is pushed down a tower, and he comes in from the middle lane as he's going to try to go in on to get Ovis, who will jaunt away on the puck, but he'll eventually go down. There's Mantu with the finger bang, finishes off Demon.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Kushu just keeps charging forward. He wants more as the bear keeps getting slowed down as Sakula, they'll take the consolation prize of killing that bear as you are. Gets stunned up. Way2's just going to TP away, and they may lose their Dragon Knight as well here. He's got no mana. They're going to drop a tree in front of him. Who was that? Who was that dropped the tree? That was a little BM tree, unless it was him.
I'll take that.
Either way, he drops a tree. Cute play there. But a disaster play. You could just see that 3-man gank. They were moving up, and it's like, oh yeah, Mad's here. The problem is that where there was 2 other heroes up there. Then they dropped the Observer Ward, and they had to have seen. I'm pretty sure they weren't shielded by that tree from the Observer Ward before EverNovaS chose to engage there.
Radiant structures are
But they went for it. They got that puck, but they had to know that DKB was going to be converging on them. The way Way 2 is going to get Primal Roared up, and he quickly gets disposed of. As EverNovaS at least defends their tier 2 tower here, as Boris has done essentially nothing. Throws out his amplified damage, and that'll get them the kill onto Sakula. As now he's going to get a crush off onto Mantu. So EverNovaS chase them down after defending their tier 2 tower. They get 2 kills after initially losing their Earth Spirit. But the tier 2 left standing as this Necro Minion desperately runs for his life. Run, poor Archer. 1 second. There we go. The hero Necro Book Minion. Let's look at our gold up here on Justin right now. As he just purchases, as he just purchases the relic. Yawar's got his armlet. Arcanes and typical support items for the two supports from EverNovaS. Up to 2,100 gold for Boris. That's everyone on our Radiant side. As we hop around, take a look at some of the heroes on DKB. As we got 2 Band of Elven skins onto Sakula. As he's got the Treads and Aquila. Mantu, up to 1,700 gold, so his Blink Dagger's not that far away. And speaking of Blink Dagger, there's the one from the Slardar. As Necrobook 2 also gets completed by Beastmaster. What about Getovas? Veil, 1,700 gold, as they're going to find an opening here onto Justin. Stun, finger. And they're going to use the Dream Coil, but there's the nice stun from Boris. Going to land on 3. As Rocket's kicked in, stuns up the puck, and then he rolls onto Shanks as well as Magnetize getting used. So 2 kills already for EverNovaS. Boris getting stunned up here. Another huge Death Ward from Demon. It's doing so much damage. Going to get 1, count it, 2 kills. As Mad, the only remaining member from DKB, is going to run away. And his hero Necrobook Archer will looks like he'll stay alive. Or will he? Demon's close. He's going to go out do a little bit of scouting duty, but he'll be okay. Let's switch on to our net worth here and see who our leader is. It's Justin, as he's at 7.3k. As yeah, he's only up to 280 gold, so still needs a bit before he's going to have his Radiance completed. Next is going to be Yawar, as he's sitting at 6.8k, still just with that armlet, 1.5k. Then let's Getovas at 5.5. And pretty much tied with him is going to be the offlane Beastmaster of Mad, also at 5.5k. Then it's that kind of unusual Dro pick on Sakula at 5.1, which is pretty much even with the offlaner that he was laning against, with Boris.
Oh, look at it go!
Which he gets a crush off onto Mantu, and there's another Death Ward from Demon securing a kill there. He'll let it channel. That allows Getovas to get on top of him. As the silence comes in from Sakula, it's actually a little short, doesn't actually hit. But they get that kill onto the puck, and now they're going to find another as Shanks. He is surrounded by members of EverNovaS. 14-8 now is this Dro Ranger. So far not looking too hot for DKB, as they're starting to fall behind in this one.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's structure.
And EverNovaS continues to push. They're going to get a tier 2 tower here. And notice, we saw a lot of that early pushing coming out from DKB, but it's been a while since we saw them knocking on the door of any structures from EverNovaS. And now they're losing heroes and losing structures of their own. As Yawar's going to get that mid tier 2. There's the Radiant recipe for Justin, but it's all the way back in his stash, and the courier is currently out in the middle of the battlefield right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And DKB starting to make a rotation, maybe down towards Roche. Willing to give up their tier 2 tower for Roche, and that looks like that's what the play is going to be from them.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Well, that tier 2's down in the top lane, and I think EverNovaS knows what's up. They're just going to go for a tier 3 here. They say, you know what, you guys can go for Roche, but we're just going to go and destroy your base instead. Look at this, the tier 3 tower, it is dead. Now they're going to go for Rax. They start chipping away at the melee Rax. Roche has finally died. Sakula's going to pick up the Aegis. And they're going to back away before they get the Rax. But Boris going to re-engage with the crush just on the Getovas. Going to bring him down to half HP as the bear goes in and then comes back. As now they're going to go on to Shanks, who's been stunned up. As Dream Coil is going to land on 3. One of them's the bear, which will die. Got a resummon from Justin. As Boris, once again, another blink stun. He's going to stun up 2 as he hits Sakula and Mad. As our first casualty is going to be the Earth Spirit. Then we just lost the Dro Ranger, but she'll be back up with an Aegis. As Yawar, very, very low on HP, does have armlet, so he's got that to toggle. As the bear attacking Mantu here, Sakula's there as well. Nice stun coming out from Mantu right before his death, but it's not going to be enough to win them the team fight. They have 5 heroes dead, and they're just going to tap out. GG, well played, EverNovaS. Gonna take this one. We have
Tower is under attack.
our final for the group. So we've got in first place for Group D, Digital Chaos. In second place, EverNovaS. In third place, DKB. And in fourth, Enemy GG. So, what does that mean? Who's playing who? Well, if we look at just at the winner's bracket, once again, the top 2 in the group went to the winner's bracket. Bottom 2 go to the loser's bracket. So, if we look just at the winner's bracket, quarterfinal 1 is going to be Team Freedom versus EverNovaS. Quarterfinal number 2 is going to be EverNova. I know it's confusing, but EverNova versus Dragneil. Quarterfinal number 3, this is a big one, Complexity versus Shazam. And then quarterfinal number 4, still on the same side of the bracket as Complexity's match, we have FDL versus Digital Chaos. So we could very well see Complexity and Digital Chaos, I believe, clash in the semifinals of the winner's bracket. But they're going to have to go through FDL and Shazam, which is no easy feat either. So that is one stacked side of the winner's bracket. But there is a loser's bracket. So it is double eliminations. Speaking of those, who plays who? We've got Lucchini playing Perky Pepperonis. We got Infamous playing Enemy GG. T-Show plays Drinking Boys. And Animal Kingdom plays Not Today. Once again, guys, if you missed any of that, it's all on dota2.ca/schedule. You can go there and find out when those games are going to be. It's not actually updated to show you exactly who's playing who, but you can figure it out. It just has D1, D2, and C2 in the schedule for the teams, but you guys can figure that out with C2 being Dragneil, because they finished second in Group C. But yeah, that's where we stand, and that's where we're going to pick up tomorrow, because we've got matches tomorrow starting at 6 p.m. again, where we're going to start with FDL going up against Digital Chaos. Our second series match is also scheduled for May 13th, but the start times kind of overlap. So, and those are tentative dates as well, so we may not see that at all. I'm not sure. It might change a little bit later, but either way, I'll let you guys know on Twitter when I find out, if I find out anything. But otherwise, I guess we'll be live again at 6. Once again, guys, I was Niz. Thanks very much for joining me, for whether you stayed in just for the last game or whether you were here for all 5. Thank you so much for joining and listening to the cast. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. But we'll be back again tomorrow at 6 p.m. for more Dota 2 Canada Cup action. So hopefully you'll be back to join us. If you don't, or if you can't, either way, hit that follow button on twitch.tv/NizCast. So hopefully you can cast one of those, or hopefully you can catch one of those casts in the future. Thanks again for watching, guys. Have a good one.